Okay, let's see how this goes. Let's see. Sending out a little go live notification. Okay. Oh, hi Rogue. Hi, welcome to the stream. Yeah, we'll be starting a new project. Let's see, I had a toggle for it. We are gonna be working on this character. So this is a concept made by Il55 on social media. So this it's extremely stylized. Il55. On the top right it says current project. Il55 should be how you can find them on social media. So yeah, it's a wicked design, and I'm gonna see if I can turn it into a 3D model. This is... oh, hi Deek. Welcome to the stream. Please let me know how volume and everything is. If there's like double audio somewhere popping up, this is legitimately the first stream in... last time was 9 years ago. Okay. So we're gonna start from a simple sphere, as with many things. I changed the layout of the super... oh. Mine could be a touch louder. Let's see. Audio seems fine, maybe pull up the... make a tiny bit. Let's see. Oh, that actually lowered it. I upped it by 2 decibel. How does that sound? Make a little bit of stream delay. So again, let me know how it goes. Okay. So let me... 2 more, okay. Four decibel. Alright, cool. We'll see how it goes. Let me get reference off the screen for a little bit. Or technically I could leave it there. I'm using PureRef on a different screen. You will not be able to see it. Alright, so with many things first, it's finding the torso. This is going to be the potato phase first, and it's going to be very uncomfortable, but we're going to push through. There's multiple ways of doing this. I think I'll want to do it by implementing some let's see, pinning some spheres. That way we can keep things a little bit looser. We will be dynamashing things, so if we keep groups. Yeah. We're gonna be keeping a very low subdivision in, because we're gonna be looking for the proportions first. Like blocking it out, we do not want to spend a lot of time on detailing, because that's the detailing is gonna get absolutely destroyed anyway. Alright. Thank you for looking, Rogue. We'll see how far we get. Let's see, so these are gonna be shoulders. Those shoulders, again, are gonna be like... This character is extremely stylized, so we'll see how things end up. Alright. So we'll see if we can make this work. So we're gonna have the rib cage, the midriff, and then the pelvis. Just to see if we can make something out of this. Some people are very quick at blocking it out. I am not one of those people. For me, the potato phase is quite long, and at some point things begin to click, and then it starts to all make sense. So one of the first things that you want to do is find landmarks. Like places where the rib cage is poking through, looking at the clavicles. All that type of things. Also, we're listening to the Hollow Knight soundtrack, because next week, Silksong is finally gonna come out. So looking at your skull from different angles is key. It's the part where you don't see the character yet, so you're just gonna keep adding on more and more until it finally starts to look like something that's more recognizable, and then work from there. Again, there's multiple ways of doing this. Sometimes people will just start with a single geometry chunk. With this method, I'm gonna try to do the keeping it all separate, because with this method it's a lot more easier to just like toggle visibility to, let's say, only work on the legs if that were to be the case. Or if you've sculpted the hips and then, okay, I need to add the legs, but I want to make sure I don't touch the hips. It's a lot more easier to isolate and then mask it out. One mistake I always make is thinking that legs are cylindrical, but they're not. They have flow. So we want to make sure that where the legs connect, that also looks good. I'm going all over the place. Some people are meticulous, I am not. Or at least not while I'm live streaming. And I believe these were called Digiti Create Legs, right? So this blocking this out, looking at the reference, there's a lot of curves and straights that are going on, and I'm trying to find those curves from a very early stage. Albeit it is difficult. Let's try to flatten out the feet. Alright. Okay, the character has long legs, but not this long. Let's like this is almost a frog character. So we can just isolate, mask selected, and then curve those in. Also, let's try to keep that gesture in. So something that I see a lot of people do is have the spine be completely straight. But humans have a natural curvature to it. So if we grab our ruler right now, going straight down, we can see that the feet are too far front. Pelvis looks okay. These things definitely, the lower legs definitely need to be pushed more to the back, so just so we have that balance. work now. Alright. So center of gravity on the chest, pelvis slightly forward, and then the feet are just underneath it. That should work. We are working with perspective. So working from orthographics, you can work without perspective, but when you actually start sculpting, you should do it with perspective, otherwise you're going to end up with very weird proportions later on. Okay, because also this character has extremely sharp shoulders, so let's try to block that in as well. And try to do something with the H-polish, really get those planes in there. Tip still goes down. We're gonna leave the back for a little bit later. Let's add the head, because this character, we will be making it so that the mask can be removed. So let's see if we can add in the head. Oh. Hey Lady Kurai, welcome on in. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, it's the potato face. Okay, let's see. Oh, hey ho, welcome on in. When do we fry the potato? I don't think that's a good idea on this digital medium. Okay, let's see, because this character has a muzzle. Ooh, the Marissa theme. Or Marissa or City of... No, City of Tears. Alright, let's see. This character has a muzzle, so let's just block it out. Okay, also this head is huge. Let's see, I have some images where it's more zoomed in. So again, for the people who just joined in, the reference image that is on the top right of the screen is made by Il55 on social media. I have a PureRef file on the side that has a lot more images that shows the front and back of the character and also several expressions. So I do have more to work from than just the one image. Make sure that we have enough space in the cranium. This is where we have to solve a lot of questions. Let me dynamesh it once. So make sure. Yeah. Oh, hey Marin, welcome on in. Let's see, how do we do this? Because the face is so difficult. Like every time you start one, because there's so many elements that are all very close to each other and also proportion-wise. See if I can get the muzzle in first. So it is a hyena character, so I probably should have looked up more hyena pictures before starting this, but as I was discussing with a friend earlier, if I wasn't gonna hit that go live button now, I was probably never gonna do it. So we're jumping in headfirst into the deep. Let's go. Alright, get the mouth in. So again, we're working with very low topology purposefully, so we can't not accidentally, so that we can't fall into the trap of, ooh, I want to start adding details, like I want to add the nostrils. Like, nope, we're finding proportions first. For the moment, I'm just gonna add a dash for the eyes, remesh once. Because every time we remesh, especially at a resolution of 32, we are going to... okay. Again, I've been doing this for a long time, so sometimes I say words where I know that other people may not know what it is. So for 3D, you work with polygons. If I turn on wireframe, you can see we have these quads, we have these triangles, and this is how we manipulate the geometry, by pushing and pulling on all of these. However, if you make big changes, you will get quite a few distorted ones, and those become more and more difficult to work with. Also, alright, take care, Rogue. Enjoy the lurk. So when we have polygons that are getting too distorted, we do something that's called a remesh. So we hold down Control and we drag, and we'll see it tries to recalculate it as best it can. So it projects a grid from the front, from the side, and that's how we get new topology, but a lot of it does get... Alright, all good, Marin. Thank you for the lurk, much appreciated. We have a grid projection from the front, the side, and that's how it's going to try and calculate new polygons that we can work with. If I were to up this resolution, the grid is going to get denser, we have more polygons to work with, and eventually we'll end up with a model that is millions of polygons, where we can sculpt in secondary and tertiary detail, if needed. For the moment, for this guy, we'll just carve in a semblance of an eye socket. And just try to grab the gesture of it. So again, maybe I'll see if I can quickly add a secondary image just to briefly show you like a close-up of what the face looks like without the mask. This is probably going to be huge, so stay with me. One, two, three, abracadabra. Alright, so here's another image that we have. I'm not quite sure how I can zoom in, but on the right hand side we see several expressions. So this is what I'm using to like reference of what the face actually looks like. Let me put that away again. Alright. So again, I'm using a pure ref. That's on a different layer from OBS, is capturing software. And I'm using that to reference. Yeah, so again, IL55. On the social media, there's only the beauty render, or like where the character has the clothing and the axe, and like in a pose with an expression. Hello, Top Hat. Welcome on in. But they also have an ArtStation post where they've drawn multiple images of the character from the front, the back, and some expressions as well. And I saved all of those, and I'm using those for reference. Alright, so I'm just trying to get a basic, well, I'm trying to get a basic block out of the head, but it's difficult. Oh, hey Ruckus, welcome on in. Also, if I'm mispronouncing anyone's name, please let me know. I'm doing well. Thank you for asking, Top Hat. It's been 9 years since I tried streaming. Back then, things were completely different. Oh, hi Jano, welcome on in. So yeah, we're giving it a second go. Back then, I said that I liked streaming. Then I did like 3 of them, and then promptly disappeared from the internet. So we'll see how the second time around goes. Okay, less talking, more moving polygons. I'm old? Wow, thank you. Alright, let's just add the ears. So again, insert. Basically, I always choose a sphere. Even though the ears are triangles. A good way to think about how do I say this? A good line of thinking on when you're trying to make something in 3D is to try and boil it down to its most fundamental shape. So is this a sphere? Is this a cube? Is this a triangle or a pyramid? And then that's basically what you want to try and block out first. Again, this scene currently looks very weird, but that's okay, we're in the potato phase. Every art project goes through the potato phase. There's no need to feel shame about it. Watch people draw or something. Ah, nice. And basic shape is a dog. Yes, dog is also one of the most fundamental shapes. It is a good shape. So... Oh, hello, did I break symmetry? Nice. Okay, that is a bad head shape, so I'm gonna try and improve that, because currently it just looks like nothing. Ears appear to be starting a whole lot more to the front. Back of the ear more to the back. Admittedly, they are too... This character has really thin ears, so let's try to catch that essence. Well, again, working with the polygons that we have, because we're going to trust the process. We know that currently we do not have enough polygons, but we can try and push it as far as we can. Somewhere later on, later down the line, I will be looking up more reference, see where I need more reference, but I think for now I should be good. That head is way too big. Also just the jawline. We need fur tufts. Top hat, I don't have a team either. This is just purely a solo project. This is, again, this is going to be for portfolio projects. Currently, I'm unfortunately unemployed, but we're making do with some freelancing on the side, and maybe in the future some more Twitch. Also, Jano, thank you very much for the follow. Again, the first stream. I don't have everything set up yet. We have some previous projects above me. I have one PNG tuber, and yeah, that's basically it for the moment. Okay, that muzzle is way too big. Let me focus on this for a second, because otherwise this is never gonna look good. It's a shame that I have a little bit of a side profile on a preview on a different angle, like where the character has his back turned towards the viewer, and we have quite a lot. We cannot ignore the back of the head. We're not going to add that there. Again, probably it's the maximum width of the head that's just not working right now. We can try and... So I have been doing this for a while, so I know a few foundational rules of like the human face, and when things don't work out, there's a few bony landmarks that you can try to knock in there to see if you can make it look more recognizable. So we have the cheekbone. Again, this character is pretty thin. We have the, how do you say this, like temporal line. Cheekbones tend to be the thickest. Have it like this. Also look at your character from a distance. Probably want to have the ears be more upright. Or close to each other. Try to get those fur tufts blocked in. Just anything to try and make the character more recognizable. Let's see, look in the polygroups. We do a quick mirror and weld. We had some asymmetry going on in there. Okay. I think that's good for the head for now. Well, you say something and you immediately think to yourself, no, actually it needs to be better. Though, again, we're at the blockout stage. Let's add the arms. So I will be modeling this character in what's referred to as an A pose, meaning that the character will have its arms in a more neutral, holding the arms next to its body, rather than have them spread out in, how do you say it? Rather, I can show it. T-pose, your character would have arms that stand completely like this. The reason why I'm not a big fan of this one is because if you were to model it like this, you're gonna have to scrunch up the deltoid quite a bit in order to make it look natural. And then once you lower your arms again, you have to most likely resculpt the deltoid a bit in order to have it look good. A pose, the shoulders are more natural. If you were to do any type of cloth simulation on it, the simulation would be more natural because clothing can fall down the arm. Though somewhere in the distance there is a rigging expert that's vehemently defending the T-pose superiority. I will pick whatever is needed for a project and deal with that. So again, sometimes you need to do A pose, sometimes you need to do T pose. Both are fine, it's a preference. Or, well, preference for personal project, technical requirement for a professional project, or even product. Right, let's see. So lengthwise of the arm. Wow. The elbow tends to line up with somewhere of the belly button, which in this case would be probably around here. So again, even though this is a stylized character, most of the proportions, or at least the idealized guidelines, do line up. So I'm gonna rely on those first, and then later on we're gonna we are going to mix and match to get the actual proportions in. And again, looking at the character from the side, It looks a bit stiff. So again, I want to add more gesture to it. So gonna throw this forward a little bit. Put these arms back. Okay, so the shoulders are big, but they're not that big. I'll just make them a little bit short. Oh, that's not. Do the entire character. We have the dramatic, so not Silksong. Silksong is next week. We have the dramatic Hollow Knight music in the background. So elbows are too low, we knock those up a bit. And we have upper arm, which has deltoid, and no, deltoid is your shoulder muscle, you have your biceps and your triceps. And one thing that I am prone to doing is have the biceps just point straight forward. Though that is not how the arms actually are. They're actually angled in quite a bit. Now, a lot of my previous characters have been pretty buff. I'm purposely doing a scrungle, like a very, or at least thin body type right now. Still has muscles, but is not a Dorito shape. So I need to not make everything too big, which I now have become prone to. So bear with me as I will probably sculpt some things way too big and then have to massively call them in again afterwards. God, Deke, shush. Oh, thank you for the jump scare, ZBrush. I should probably save at some point, because otherwise a lot of these things are gonna get... Otherwise, we've been doing the last... How long have we been going? I don't know. But we'll be losing work, and we don't want that, so let me just quickly save it. Also, let me know if you hear something like keyboard typing, because I need to adjust things, probably. Alright, file saved successfully. Also, as a, yes, Hyena Bard 01. I will try and be a nice little 3D artist and actually name my subtools more regularly. Wow, chat is already turning against me on my very first stream. Okay, let's see. So, we're just gonna add the block out for some hands, or rather, get some gesture to the arms first. Second, Well, technically the 5th stream, but are you actually going to count the streams from 9 years ago? 9 years is a long ass time. Or has there been a different stream that I am not aware of? Did I at one point accidentally hit go live without actually knowing it? Because that's a new nightmare fuel now on my computer. Deke, please don't say yes to that. Alright, let's see, how do we do this? So... let's see. Put a little marker there so we have bicep, tricep in the back. Ah, okay, yeah, yes to 9 years ago. Yes, I have stream delay. I will see if I can find a different setting for that one. Because I like talking to chat. Remember, when you raid out, you still have to end your stream. I figured this out the hard way when trying. Oh, yes, thank you. In case I ever forget to go, or in case I ever forget to go offline, all of you have my full permission to go crazy in chat and just, like, spam in all caps to get my attention. It's like, hi, you are still live. Alright, let's see. Back to the arm. So, trying to find a silhouette for this. So, I forgot the name of the muscle, but we have one that flows over the elbow and actually attaches more up here, which is where you get this little breakup from. You know what? We are speedrunning, so we are going to add. Again, like we're adding clay to the model, trying to find proportions along the way. No detailing yet. We don't have to. So again, we just need a gesture of hands and that's it. Boom. Get a thumb in there. Thumbs are weird, they have this weird rotation thing that always takes 10 iterations to find. So, okay, cool. If we look at the reference, hang on, let me pull this one up again. So, my character has hilariously long arms right now. But the way that the ref is currently also showing, hang on, you can't see my mouse, but I'm going over it. The way that they lean, the length of the fingertips, or rather the length of the claws, does hit the kneecaps. The character is leaning, so I'm inclined to shorten it a little bit. But again, this character has some funky proportions. So either I'm gonna have to make the legs longer, and this is the part where I'm not. This is the part where I need multiple iterations to get to a decent result of, okay, you've slammed all of the clay onto the model, but we're missing key proportions, so it's never gonna look like the character. So Yeah, this is usually where I call in multiple friends to. It's where I ask them to tell me what I am currently doing horribly wrong in proportions. As a test, let's see if we lengthen the legs. Where do we get? Something like this. Looks neat. Also, we need to get rid of these duck feet. Again, I'm just going all over the place right now. Fixing little fires left, right, and center. Oh, also let me get rid of this one again. Do people want me to keep the project reference on the top right, or is it better if I were to remove that massive picture for the moment? I can keep it a bit longer on. Okay. So now we're... Okay, so we have everything. Let's see, what is working and what is not working. Probably the width of the chest. Width of the chest. So if we look at where I have the rib cage, like this volume end up, versus how much of a distance there is before the hip starts, so I'm inclined to say that my current rib cage is way too low. So, oh, that was a playlist, and we start it up again. So, yeah, we've been at it for an hour, or 53 minutes. Okay, I have some other images that I'm going for, and this character, the distance between the distance between the rib cage and the hips is quite significant, so I need to fix that. So again, let me briefly bring it up. If you look at the middle image of the back, checking the distance to where Latissimus sits on the character versus what I have blocked out, that distance does not match up, so we have to fix that. Guess we can put in some gestural lines to indicate muscles. So curvature of the spine. Then we have, God, do I know the names by heart when I'm live streaming? We have this shape, let's call it that. You have this group here. And this character has a very pronounced how the latissimus connects. Very stylized shape. So let's make sure that we have that. again, the lats go into the armpits. That's when we can start guessing some other volumes, because muscles sit on top of each other. They build up. So we can take away some volume here. And in the back we have the Superman muscle, the lats. That's the thing that bulges out and gives people hourglass figures. I currently have pecs sitting on top of it. We'll see how that goes. Okay, better. Like again, this is a scrungly body type, very thin. I mean, hell, you can see the ribs. Let's see, they have some lines for the oblique. Right, so there's an extremely angular shape that they put in there, which we're going to represent with this chunk. So let me check something on my off screen real quick. Okay, nothing's on fire on the other end. That's good. At least I hope it is. Because otherwise, hopefully, chat, let me know if something's wrong. I hope the microphone doesn't pick that up. Knowing my luck, it probably will. Okay, let's go to the legs. We have very... Again, in the concept art it's completely covered up, but in this ref we can see that he has very angular kneecaps. What little muscle definition there is, it's all extremely angular, so we're gonna see if we can capture that. So I purposely left the kneecaps as separate geometry so I can easily squinch and pinch. Again, we want to get that flow. So again, it's this flow that you really want to get to the side, because otherwise legs are going to look really wonky and flat. Let's see. Maybe it looks like they're connecting. So we have the inside head that's sitting on top of the kneecap. Gives a silhouette bump. Again, this is why we kept it separate, so I can now just flatten this portion and not be afraid that I'm accidentally going to be touching the pelvis area. And really try to get that plane change in there. Without it getting... Sometimes looking at it from a weird angle can help a lot. Let's see. And then the outer head is also creating a silhouette bump. Which sits higher than the one on the inside. Legs are probably my weakest area at the moment. Okay, and then we have the calves, which have quite a significant silhouette change. So first thing we're gonna do is make those things a lot thicker. I should probably try and figure out how the angle of the knee is supposed to look when you have feet like this, or yeah, legs like this. So they do look to be weirdly aligned. This. Okay. So top of the foot is a lot straighter. It's the inside or the underside of it that's curved in. And we have an ankle. Let's see. This that goes into it. Somewhere around here is a bony landmark. Really try to get that shin bone in there. We kind of have that flow that goes here and then into the feet. This is probably also where I get a bit more quiet, as I now have to think a lot more, like make, what's the word? Make more intentional decisions. Rather than, yeah, we're just adding clay and we'll see where it goes. Now it's actually, okay, look at the reference, look at the sculpt, look at the reference, look at the sculpt, and see where things don't line up. So again, this character very pointy, very strong pointy silhouettes. So with the limited polygons that I'm giving myself, we have to try and find at least the essence of it. Rather than duck feet, we have claws. Let's see, they're very square feet. See if I can get that in with an H polish brush. Okay. Really try to get the square elements in there. Again. See what it looks like from the side. Move the arms out a little bit. Again, the elbows line up with the belly button. Hands. I still have questions about that, but for the moment we'll pose it a bit more in A pose, so then we have more room in the armpits. This is going to give better results like later down the line, because when you need to bake normals for it later on and the arms are far too close to the body, you will get intersection. The baking cage is too narrow, and that's when you're gonna start seeing some weird artifacting that you'll either have to hand paint out yourself, which is suboptimal, or you make a decision early in the project to actually do it better. Okay. Probably also want to give these things a little bit of gesture, so again, I keep using the word gesture, hoping to know what it means. One of my older teachers said that I always... some people are very flowy with their art and really know how to... Oh, hey Ritter, welcome on in. Some people are like very flowy and they're great at gestural drawings, and they really seem to be finding a spirit of something with like more ease than I manage. Because one of my teachers always said that I was more of a writer, where I will write down that this is the deltoid, where I will write down that this is the spine, rather than actually find the curvature of the spine. It's been a decade. I still try to find an answer. I am still very much a this is this element, this is the one that is attached to it, this is how they anatomically like attach to each other. And again, I'm writing it out rather than doing it more gestural. So why is this one? Oh, because we're in scale. Yes, no, we need to rotate. Yeah, hi Ritter, welcome on in. We're making a character that's at the top right of the screen. a Hyena Bard with a pretty gnarly looking axe. So we'll see how this goes. Okay. Ears need to be bigger. Or rather, the base of the ear is a lot more angular as a connection. And then the way it disconnects here. But they actually roll in a lot more, it seems. An electric guitar neck. I apologize, I know nothing about musical instruments. The way I see that thing, it's both an axe and a guitar, so I'm guessing this is something of a battle bard. Yeah, I have yet... No, have I played a bard in D&D? I think I have in a one-shot. Okay, let's focus on the head a little bit again. So, looking at how they're connected. They roll over a lot more. And goes on the inside. That pointy. You know what? This character also has like a lot of the hair is very characteristic. That's the word. I'll add it. See how it goes. So let's add a mohawk. This is also going to be breaking symmetry, which is going to add a lot more visual interest. So let's go. So again, the block out. This is not going to be pretty, but potato face, ladies and gentlemen. It's where we punch through. It looking like nothing. We trust the process. Yeah, and if we keep chipping at it, eventually it'll end up looking like something that is being presented above me. And with that I mean the previous project slideshow. All of those are full, characters that have gone through the full pipeline of high poly, low poly, baking all of the maps and are real-time characters. Some of them have a basic rig in them, though none of them have ever gotten in an actual working video game project. Okay, and then we have one that is a full-blown asymmetrical tuft. I'll add that one too. I'll add it, but I'll turn it into a separate subtool. So file organization is important. So currently this entire model is just a singular subtool. It is the Hyena Bard 01. But what I can do is let's see, go here to split and split unmasked points. So now in the outline we have Hyena Bard 01 and a Hyena Bard 02. If I were to rename this, because we're gonna put emphasis on it for this one, we are going to call it hair, like hairlock front. So we know that this is going to be this element and we can break symmetry. I'm just gonna push and pull this into a more hairlock shaped style. Yeah, this goes well beyond the face. The way it connects is a little bit of 2D cheating, so that's where we, the 3D artists, will have to find a solution, though I guess we can just have it flow onto the side of the mohawk. So we will be keeping the mohawk at the front symmetrical for now. Eventually that thing is going to be asymmetrical as well, but I'll try to keep symmetry for as long as possible. Just because it gives a lot of headaches the second you start breaking up symmetry. The best trick is to have a model be entirely symmetrical, but then later on in texturing make it look asymmetrical, and then everyone will praise you for, oh my god, it looks so good. Like, yep, it's completely symmetrical, it's just texturing tricks. Okay, so we have this here. We have another lock coming out of it. I'll try to pull it out. So I shape it a bit. Okay, this is me realizing that... Okay, so again, this sometimes happens. I'm using this image a lot as a reference, and the way that the hair is drawn is different from the one that's on the beauty illustration. For the purposes of this project, I'm going to try and match the beauty illustration as much as possible. So this is where I have to swap the design, because on the beauty it looks completely different. It's a lot more of a frontal. Still to the sides, but it's a lot more horizontal. And it appears to be originating directly from the front. It has a really strong cutoff point. So again, because it's its own subtool, we can isolate, select it, work on it. I'll give this one a little bit more resolution to work from, and obviously let's see, we have to wow, line of think, train of thought. We have to change it up. Let me do this. When in doubt, clay tubes. Snake hook can be used here, I think. Yeah. We can pull out a second tuft and try to match, again, match the concept a little closer. Okay. Okay. Yeah, all these are very spiky. Keeping them symmetrical. What are groups? Dynamesh. Then we need a lot of hair in the back. Again, this. Alright. Looking at the image, on the back, it goes roughly up against the shoulders and then it just fans out. So let's see if we can get that in. So again, just thinking on where does the hair connect to the actual body. Make sure that we don't have any random floating geometry pieces. Everything has to work together and actually fit on top of each other. Okay, and then from this angle it also looks like the back of the head can be a lot thinner. This shape, now we have the jawline, and this is where what's the word, sternocleidomastoid connects in. Like that, what do you call it? That V-shaped neck muscle that quite a few people have. Oh. It always freaks me out for a split second when ZBrush does like one of those little glitch previews. I'm just gonna hit save again. Let me know if any of you can hear Windows sounds. Sternocleidomastoid. I think there's a Cleido in there. Sternocleidomastoid? Or am I misremembering? I'll look it up. Yeah, sternocleidomastoid muscle. Okay, yeah, so I apologize. I am currently just... So, the Windows sound. I'm currently just doing a full system sound check. Or rather, it captures all the sounds. rather than just a single YouTube channel. But thank you for letting me know. I'll make a note on that and make sure I'll fix that for next stream. Okay. Okay. Same in here. Yes, so again, this is... Yeah, again, this is why it shouldn't be capturing all of my Windows notification, because every time I'm going to save, I get the Windows sound where it's like, hi, you're gonna overwrite a file, are you sure about that? And I will probably give all of my viewers a... It's like purposely sending out the Telegram notification sound. It's like how to get everyone to check their phones. Send out that notification. Okay. Okay, so it's starting to look like something. We could probably work on the arms a bit more. So we have the connection. Let's see. Yeah, again, on the reference, look at the back of the upper arm. Look at how that is. So you have the tendon of the tricep that is attached to the elbow, and then on top of that sits the actual muscle part of the tricep. They just drew two diamonds. So we really need to get that silhouette in. Same for a lot of the other back muscles. They're all geometrical patterns. Which is, again, basically why I chose this character. It has a lot of really stylized shapes, and I want to see if I can pull it off. So again, thinking of where my brain automatically goes into the mode of where does this muscle connect? Where does it go? Where does it start? Then how does it work along with other muscles that are sitting in the same group? So here we have the back of the deltoid that connects to the ridge of the scapula bone, and on the scapula bone a whole bunch of muscles are connected. That was a very accurate description of me. Wow. Like, it connects to multiple things. Woohoo. Sorry, Marin, for the Windows notification. I apologize. So, yeah. God. Alright, the butt is important, so we'll work on it a little bit. Let's see. Again, for this character, we're gonna go for the clothed version, so we don't need to do too much, we just need to make sure that the volumes are there. Alright. So here on the side, we have the bony landmark of the, what's it called, the thigh bone, like the head poking out, so we have a bony landmark here. Here. And from there on, we have a bunch of muscles that are all flowing outwards. Wait, how do... Am I pronouncing clothed different than other people? Well, most likely, but like, is it in a funny way? I hope it's in a funny way. Alright, but yeah, feel free to steal the way I pronounce words. Was that a sentence? Feel free to steal how I pronounce words. I think that was better. Alright. So we have knees, these things connect to below knee. Okay. So as much as we like gesture, currently it looks like the knees are inward a bit too much. So we're gonna just slightly nudge him out. Alright. Glad to hear I'm saying things funnily. That should help for streaming rather than me sitting here with a very thick accent and people going, what the hell is he saying? Alright, leg muscles. My least knowledgeable part. So we have these things. I don't know the names of the leg muscles. I only know that there's 3 of them here. We have the internal head, the middle head, and the outer head. They're called the quads. Or at least I think they're called quads. Oh, I love this song. I hope that I hope the Silk Song soundtrack is gonna be like as nice as Hollow Knight. Yeah, Ritter, exclusively drawing legs. Alright, go for it. Right, let's see. Yeah, no, Marin, after, has it been 7 years? 7 years of memeing and wearing the clown wig with the red nose at every major gaming convention live stream. Hi Galen, welcome on in. Yes, Silksong is finally real and it's here next week, and I can't wait to play it. Alright, so looking at them from this angle, these pecs are way too puffy. We're gonna have to reel those in. So again, pecs connects to underneath the deltoid, which is quite a straight line. Deltoid connects more like this in the ref. And this character could... Okay, pectoral muscle is 2 groups, where you have pectoral major and minor, I believe. If you are extremely lean or very dehydrated, you can actually see the upper one. You can see this triangle on some people. Especially if they flex their, or rather roll their shoulders forward, you can sometimes see that thing beginning to pop up. Alright. Let's see. So zooming out a lot just to see how things are going. Should probably work on the arms a bit more again because those got we glossed over those extremely fast. So I like how Silksong announced itself and then numerous indie devs immediately changed their release dates. It was like, hi, sorry, we're going to like late September now, if not October or anything. It's some people are calling it the Grand Theft Auto 6 of the indie world. And it's funny to see. And my heart goes out to all of the indie devs out there that were like really, really pushing their marketing campaigns for early September. Oh, I mean, Peak already has it in their patch notes where it's like, hi everyone, enjoy the game for the next 2 weeks. After that, we know all of you will be going to Silksong. It's a constant. It will happen. I will be part of it. I will be playing the hell out of Silksong. Yeah. I've been wearing the clown wig for far too long. I want my Silksong. Mind you, I only ever finished Hollow Knight once, and it was the vanilla ending of just collecting the 3 masks and doing the boss fight once. I am not one of the people that has a full 112% completionist rate with true ending type of playthrough. You think releasing it? Oh right, Eurofluence is. Oh god, so many people. Does Silksong release for the? It has to release for handheld as well, right? The what do you call it? The either Steam Deck or Nintendo DS. Uh, please take pictures of all of the people at the convention that are just sitting in a corner, holding a handheld and playing Silksong. Ritter, if you bounced off of it, maybe you can try and give it another go. It, I guess it takes a while for it to click, but if you like Metroidvanias, like again, they're cool. Also, I need to think a bit because how do our muscles work? Because okay, we have this muscle over here that is it attaches to the it attaches above the elbow. Then it wraps around all the way down to where the thumb is, so you really get that rotation in there. But then you also have a straight line here. That goes to the bony landmark on your wrist, so. Great, he's also doing the thing where. Also, I like how we're trying to get the shape of the arm in right, while this guy is also going to be wearing massive fan braces on top of it, so you'll never see it. But it's still important to get the underlying foundational shapes correct, because otherwise you're going to have a huge amount of clipping later on. I like this music so much. Okay, this might be a bit much, so we'll book it down a bit again. One thing I like to do as well is I use my own body as reference a lot, so more often than not I also position the camera as if I'm looking at, like, it's the point of view that I would have if I were to look down my own arm. So I can actually see, like, okay, there's volumes there, there's stuff going on there. Life pro tip, always use reference. Am I the artist or my PNG tuber? Looking fancy and good. Thank you. Yes, I drew it myself. I have limited 2D skills. I I have been working on a Vernet 3D model of my own, which I then just took a screenshot of and did a paint over on, and that's what you see on the bottom left of your screen right now. Yeah, thank you for the compliment. I'm happy with it for the moment. The idea is that eventually there may or may not be an actual 3D model sitting in the bottom left, but let's see if we actually do more than 5 live streams now, as we did 9 years ago, and then just promptly vanished after we said that, like, oh yeah, we like doing live streams. And then abracadabra, poof, gone. So yeah, we'll see. Okay, wrists, I made those too thin. So, alright, fine, we work a bit more on the face. Let's maybe up the resolution slightly. Just slightly. Like 50. Alright. Ambient standard, carve in a few facial features. Get the chin line in. Oh, Galen, don't even joke about that. Like, I said that I was gonna do live streaming 3 months ago. Then I kept finding excuses and like, oh no, but like one of my friends is already doing like a big thing. If I start streaming in that month, then I'll be like overlapping with their event. I don't want to do that. Uh, so yeah. Uh, the reason I'm live streaming right now is because I told a friend that if I wasn't gonna push the live button today, I was probably gonna wait until Friday and then next week, and then suddenly it's September again. All right. Thank you, Deek. All right, let's add some eyeballs. We go to append, sphere. Rotate it 90 degrees. And then let's do the little trick of we make the eyeballs too big. Also, the music has stopped, so we can either listen to Hollow Knight again, or does anyone have any other game soundtracks that they can recommend and that will not get me into trouble? Or I can just put on Lo-fi, like Lo-fi synthwave. That's generic enough for the background. Just oh, wow, Nightbot. Okay, Nightbot does not like it when people uh, type all caps. But looking at it, near automata, sure. Let's see if I can put some near. Uh, I'll try to find the calm music. We're not gonna listen to the battle theme. That'll probably not go too well. What do we have? This is a 1-hour playlist of near piano covers. Alright, let me know if the music is too low or like. Look, your chat, you can tell the streamer how he should be streaming. Because that's how Twitch works, right? Where was I? Right, size of the eyeball to make absolutely certain that it's too big. Okay, so as a test, I'm gonna see if I can get this with, so we have one eye between the eyes, so we know that the distance should be somewhat good. Now we just slightly pull it forward. Yes, perfect. Immediately fits, first try. Oh boy. Well, I'm glad that I'm not uh I'm not playing chamber music, question mark. Alright. So let's see if we can, oh wait, also before we forget, we name our subtool. Alright. And then we try to do a little bit of pushing and pulling around it. So again, we barely have polygons, but we can work with this. It's something I see a lot of young 3D artists do in ZBrush is they will immediately dynamesh to, I don't know, several 100,000 polygons and then start sculpting over it, but they're having a lot of trouble with it. So by staying in a very low poly stage, we cannot be tempted to try and sculpt, for example, the upper and lower eyelid already, like with fine detail. All we have to do is find the silhouette first. So we can just push and pull some polygons here. It's gonna be rough, but it's fine. Like we can just grab these polygons and then say, hey, these are gonna be the lower eyelid. I'm gonna pull these further in. So now this is basically almost polymodeling, where we tackle individual verts. Just try to find depth. And this guy has some eyebrows that are above it, so we know that here needs more volume. Music sounds very quiet. Let me push it up a bit. Alright. Let me know how the volume is now. That face needs to be a lot more angular. Volume might be a smidge low. Alright, I upped it a little bit. The director of the Nier games, does anyone know what he's cooking? Like, did he publicly announce that, hi, I'm taking a break, or here's a sneak peek of a new game that I'm working on? Are we gonna have yet another mobile game that is going to have one scene at the end that is considered canon, but you have to, like, get an app that's region locked? God, those eyes are way too high. So perspective. Okay, so now we have more context. It looks like the head is actually too narrow. Okay, so he's cooking something, and the world is probably not ready for what it's going to be. I'm sure it's going to be several gut punches to the feeling, as all of the characters that we love and like played with for 60 hours are probably gonna die horribly. Because that's how Neo games work. You first 40 hours are cool action, the last 20 hours is just pure crying. Okay. This probably needs to go up by a lot. Yes. Pure crying plus interludes of what the fuck. That's the near summary right there. Okay, music might be a bit loud on this song. Alright. Cool. Okay. Let's see. Hello, music? Ugh, an error occurred. Alright. Thank you, YouTube. There we go. Also, one funny thing that I apparently do a lot is whenever I sculpt a six-pack on a character, I will give him the wrong amount of like muscle that is there. It's called a six-pack, and sometimes I only make 4, or even stranger, I give him 8. So, I should have watched more Sesame Street as a kid, learned to count. Right, and this character has some really like wave-like apps. Again, we'll. This may be too little geometry to get the job done, but we're gonna at least put some shape in there. We have Serratus sitting over here. Six-pack patrol on a single line. I would not be surprised if I did that at some point. Just have a stacked one-liner, like playing Tetris. I have neglected the collarbone. Because that thing is shaped like a bicycle handle. So it goes to the front, then it goes to the back. And the deltoid connects to that. Because anatomy is funny. Should probably connect a lot more like this. Oh shit, I did. Okay, so yeah, when I subdivide again, or rather remesh, I'm gonna lose a lot of detail in the head. So I'm gonna mask this out, and then yeah, I can't. I guess I cannot reproject without losing the head details, or I mean details. We got the eye and the muzzle. That's about it. But still, I'd like to keep it. Because I want to, I'm gonna add the ear piercings, which are cylinders with studs. Alright. What is wisdom? Adding a cone or adding a cylinder? Probably a cone because it has the pointy end already. Then... Okay, so it already has a lot of edges on that side, which I don't need, so I can delete those. So we're gonna do something... the Z-Modeler tool, which is almost like polygonal modeling like you would do in Maya. So you can actually extrude and get rid of edges. So I'm going to delete. It is context aware, so if you hover on a face, you get different actions than if you hover on an edge or vertex. Again, it takes some getting used to, but once you get the hang of it, it's a very strong tool. So let me just reduce polygon density there for a bit. I'm not going to remove all of them because we need some to hold the silhouette. But the more you have, the more information ZBrush gives a polygon to retain its shape. If we do it now, it's a lot cleaner. We're gonna mask a bit, we're gonna hit Ctrl W, and that is going to create a new polygon group. Yeah, so 2 colors now. Go back to Z modeler, we go on the face and we say inset poly group island. And that will allow us to inset. And now we can extrude polygroup, polygroup all, and now we can extrude and give it this. Okay, and again, softwares don't really like it when you have like 90-degree edges, so what I tend to do is slide or swivel edges slightly so that they avoid this perfectly 90-degree. So I'm going to slide complete edge loop and just slightly lower it, so that this is the difference. From a distance you won't see it, but later on when you bake normals, this is going to have a happier time baking. Now this thing is up here. Let's see. Does this trick work? So we're going to tell it to mirror in Y. So mirror rather than X, we're going to do Y. Or rather mirror and weld. Oh, and it does it on the world origin. So we put it here, mirror and weld. Close enough. Alright. That looks like something that you can pierce an ear with. We're going to insert some edges. I should probably do that before. Yeah, and then we'll get rid of these two. Now we have a few edges that can hold thickness. And we are going to add some creasing. So whenever you subdivide, ZBrush will try to get 90-degree problem, edge on vertex rendering or something. How do I say this? I'm not quite sure why it happens, but normal maps, like, okay, so a normal map is a file that you load in on top of geometry, just like a texture. But rather than it being a diffuse map where you can see the colors of a character, it is a RGB image that is telling an engine how they should render light as it bounces on the model. So you can have a lot more information on the polygons than is actually there. However, when you have perfect 90-degree edges, I can't draw on my monitor right now, but you would have edges that would go straightly outwards. So if I were to go from this one, you go directly outwards, like you fire a baking ray, and you fire a ray that goes outwards. This is already showing the method. Because it's an angle, that ray is also going to go outwards. So if you have these two rays that go outwards, you have this triangle underneath it where it doesn't collide with each other, if that makes sense. Long story short, it gives better baking results. You don't get weird artifacts. Creasing, because when we smooth it, it becomes a weird soft shape, which we don't want. So when we crease, we tell ZBrush that, hey, this is an edge that you need to keep sharp. Nope. I no longer need to extrude, so do nothing. Alright. So what I like to do is, whenever I make something that is symmetrical and very easy to make if it's on the world origin. Oh, you're welcome, Galen. So one thing that I like to do is when we have elements that are symmetrical in one way or another, I make it on the world origin because then the mirror functions work. The version of ZBrush that I currently have does not allow you to work with a custom origin as far as I'm aware. So if someone were to say, hey, like you have to change it, for example, the pointy bits need to be longer. On the world origin, it's quite easy to make a modification and then mirror it again and implement the feedback. If I only have a version that is positioned inside the model and we get rid of the like ZBrush has a stager where you can give it a home and a target stage, which I should probably be using. So we set home here and we give it a second stage, which is in the ear. Like we position it. And then we say target stage, and now we've told ZBrush, okay, this object has 2 stages and we can switch in between. I don't know if we manipulate it on 1, so let's go here. So let's say here, and then we switch again. It's no longer on the world origin because we modified it. It's even at an angle. So if we were to now, okay, mirror and weld, we're gonna get some weird results. Even if I hit local symmetry. Yeah, we're gonna start getting weird results and we don't want that. So in order to avoid that, I always just keep a duplicate on the world origin, and then if in later feedback rounds it becomes evident that, hey, you need to change it, I will change the one that's on the world origin and then manually swap them over to the one that is in position on the character. I'm sure there's a better way for it. If anyone knows, do let me know. But this is the method that I use. I keep a lot of world origin duplicates. So it's a little thingy of I want to have. So when I was putting it in the ear, the thickness was off and the length was off. So let me just change that real quick. Something like this, and then we're gonna give it some inserts, multiple, same polygon group. We'll give it a few just so that they're evenly spaced, so when we subdivide, it's gonna minimize the odds of getting weird artifacts. Sorry about that. And all these things are creased, which don't need to be creased. Okay, so we'll just call it rename ear stud. Or how do you call these things? Just ear piercing world space. We'll make a folder, we'll call it world space elements. Duplicate. This one is going to be ear piercing patient. Okay, so these things are thinner and longer. Let's see. Select lasso. Then extend it. Ear studs, they look too small, so can I make this? Like again, we're working at an angle now, so this is where it gets a little bit iffy. Oh, wrong one. Okay, and then one more, which is only going through the lower side of the ear. I'll grab only one. Oh. How did I do that? I don't need... Oh, there we go. Thumbnail size 200. This is where it gets slightly awkward. Can I get rid of these edges? There we go. That one just be a stud in the lower. Alright. So, adding a little bit more identity to the character, just so that when you look at a character and people go like, oh yeah, that looks nice, but they don't immediately recognize which character it's supposed to be, that kind of means that you missed the mark. If you can, you know it's good when someone looks and it's like, oh hey, that's the character from the show so and so. That's when you know that you've done a good job. Also, looking at the character, this again, we're to the dismay of probably a few, we're gonna shrink the muscles. Like this guy's a scrungle. Gonna make sure that this actually sits on top and it's not clipping. Because again, this character has such a wild, sharply shoulder. So this is where it becomes a test of how well do you know anatomy and how well can you combine these shapes so it still looks like the character. Because sometimes the 2D people cheat too much and then you have shapes that do not, like they're impossible to represent in 3D space without making a whole bunch of bells and whistles on top of it so it maintains like silhouette from all angles. It's God, I believe Disney a while back had some sort of curve system that they could put on a 3D model so that when they like move and they have like really strong action poses where one of the silhouette lines is just a sheer curve, that the 3D model would actually magnetize to the curve. So they would actually have that perfect edge silhouette. Suffice to say, I do not have the technical knowledge to even begin to understand that, much less replicate. So this is probably too much. I forgot, does the bicep go underneath the pectoral muscle? Or... God, hang on, this is why we have reference. Heading off to the other screen for a second. Yeah, it does look like the pectoral muscle sits on top of the bicep. And it does like the weird twist thing. Like... where this becomes the top. Well, this becomes the bottom. It's a weird twist that it does, which is fine. I'm starting to trail off a little bit. How long have we been going? 2.5 hours. Okay. Not too bad. There is a little triangular muscle back here. I forgot the name of it, but I'm gonna add it. So here we have deltoid. No, not deltoid. Bicep and tricep. They sit against each other. How does this work? Then on the concept they have it that again I'm doing it again where I'm modeling it straightforward. It's not supposed to be like that. This thing is a lot more rotated in. So we rotate him like this. Need to get better at using transforms. Yeah, I've seen people do some really crazy things with the transpose tool. Because a lot of people are now just using the gizmo. But the transpose line, so at the top it's also a measuring ruler. So 2 units. Hang on, let me see. This entire character is 10 units. I'll need to do a technical thing later, which is actually resizing this character to proper. But yeah, well, I believe his name was Nash, Kevin Nash, character lead at Riot, or one of the branches. He was using the transpose tool to mask things and then have them fold over each other, which gave extremely clean cloth folds. I was in the stream when he did it a few times. He explained it to me, though unfortunately the knowledge didn't stick. But yes, the The transpose tool, I got into the habit of just starting with a lump, modeling it into what I wanted, rather than using much smaller shapes. Yeah, so I am purposely doing the smaller shapes method right now, or at least that's how I understand it, where we have all individual shapes that we can focus on individually. Because I've had other projects where I will indeed just start with a Z-sphere, like just a ball, and then start pushing and pulling polygons on until it remotely looks like a rib cage, and then I'll just extrude the legs from it. Some people prefer it. There are merits to it, but yeah, there are definitely workflows out there that'll significantly speed things up if you use them properly. Okay, let's see. Right. Also, AccuCurve, this is a fun one. God. Especially if you have a character that has like a lot of angulars to it. If I pull now, I get this weird blob of just gradual fall off. If I hit AccuCurve, I get a lot sharper shapes from it. Good night, Rogue. Thank you very much for watching. And if I do another stream, hopefully watch it then. Good night. Yes, Ruckus, having the smaller elements, it really helps to keep an overview because you keep seeing these borders, so you know, okay, this is where the ribcage is, this is where the butt is, and because otherwise you get more indications like this, where okay, we know that we have some leg muscles here in the back, we know that we have some muscles over here, but the volumes are all over the place, and we have like weird lumpiness rather than like over here where it's a clean intersection between the midriff and the torso or rib cage. So yeah, it can be quite nice to find new workflows. What was I saying? Right, AccuCurve. Really nice if you want to get more angular surfaces, or rather pools, which is great for stylized characters. So again, the bicep is not just a balloony muscle, it has a tendon. And we see in the concept art that that tendon is quite pronounced. Oh. It's getting a bit away from me, but we'll have to catch it again. Where we make too many random edits where suddenly the shape falls apart. So here we see the tricep has gotten way too far forward. This needs to get pulled back. Just so it stays, because we know that the deltoid connects in between these two muscles. So we have to remain aware of that. We could split it up into two polygon groups again, but yeah. But this is where I become significantly slower, because now things need to start adding up. And it is getting a little bit late here. Let's focus on the arms. We're officially out of the sketch phase. To a degree, yes. So we have all of our shapes. Yeah, Ruckus, you're more than welcome. The amount of people that need to see the potato face, that number needs to increase 100-fold. But yeah, as far as the sketching phase goes, nothing is nailed down, everything can change, proportions are still off, volumes need to change, but at least we have all of the contextual information that we need. We have the torso, we have the arms, legs, head, hair, and a little bit of gesture. So now it's more of, okay, we need to start making it all work together. So again, I keep looking at, oh, come on. I keep looking at this and okay, we do another measurement. I like where the balance is, but I feel that the rib cage, like that spine curve, that can be implemented better. So maybe if we push this forward in a little bit more. Or maybe we push this back. So again, this character, when we look at the... Alright, you can't see the mouse. But if we were to line this up, the... If we go from the if we go from the armpit to where, let's say, latissimus is hitting the midriff, on the concept art, that is quite a significant plane change. So we really want to make sure that we have that. So this is now where we constantly check and see, okay, how can we get closer and closer to the concept. Also, the music has changed, or rather, it has stopped. Let's see. Punch in the lats a bit more. Okay, so that is way too much. Yeah. But it has to be there. Just significantly softer because this is not a muscular character. As in, it has latissimus dorsi, though it's not bulging like it's Superman muscle. It sits there like a tight blanket. So we sculpt it in and we immediately shape it back. Rather than a curve, this is supposed to be a straight line. So let me save real quick because it's been a while. Sorry for the Windows sound, everyone. It's the, would you like to overwrite this file? Also, I need to get some water. It's been a while. Everyone, get up, stretch, hydrate, do all the things as I mute myself so you don't hear a kitchen ASMR. Alright. 10 internet points for whoever can name the soundtrack first. Any guesses? Anyone? Oh god, this is where I hope that the microphone isn't picking up some things. Alright, we're gonna be working on the hands for a little bit. Oh, Galen, I'm so sorry, you're banned. No guesses, alright. Well, if anyone was gonna guess Final Fantasy 16 piano covers, then congratulations, you have won the internet for today. Also, just as a quick check, I'm muting my microphone on my end in OBS, so the microphone bar goes gray. Do people hear me actually coughing, or is that mute actually working? No coughing the mute. Okay, I'm very happy to hear that because my... Oh, Galen, please play Final Fantasy 16. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of like a lot of action and a lot of big scale epic fights done right. It's beautiful. Right, because my PNG tuber keeps picking up sounds because my PNG tuber is in a different software that is also running a microphone check. So I do see it move, but you don't hear me cough. That's good to know. We're learning. So the last thing I want to do is cough in people's ears. This is where we find out that the hands are also out of proportion. E. So again, we just need to get the gesture of a hand, that's it. Also, sorry if you can hear Telegram notifications, how do I mute this? There we go. I apologize. I apologize for the Telegram notifications. Yeah. Again, first stream, we're gonna experience the growing pains. Let me know what works, let me know what doesn't work. Okay. Yeah, I'm sorry that it keeps happening. Oh. It's like, again, after this stream is over, I will sit down and go over what is working, what didn't work. Get some gesture in here. Those are huge lower arms. We're not doing that. Oh, hi Kofu. You. How do I tell Nightbot to stop shooting all caps down? Let me get rid of that because I know some people are excited and want to type in all caps. Chat moderation. Excessive symbols, nah. Excessive emotes, nah. Excessive caps, nah. Okay, hopefully that updated. I don't see a button to hit save, so I guess... Hey Kofu, can you try typing in all caps and spam emotes? Let me... Deek, do you know if Nightbot, like, auto updates when you do the toggles on the screen, or am I going to get Kofu accidentally banned? Oh, no, there it is. See, there's the caps, there's the emote spam. Excellent, it works. I am happy. Also, Galen, thank you very much for the follow. So, yes, hi Kofu. I did not tell you that I was gonna go live because I decided to jump off into the deep end some 3 hours ago. And I know on which continent you are, and I know that you were sleeping. And you need your beauty sleep. So, yeah, hi. Welcome also to any potential new viewers. We are working on the character that you see in the top right. It is, I dubbed it a Hyena Bard, and it is made by Ale55 on social media. I got inspired by it. It has some really interesting shapes in 2D that I want to see if I can get it to work in 3D. So the purpose of these streams is going to be to create this character and try to create, to recreate the character from concept and make a full 3D sculpt of it. So that's the plan. We'll see how far we actually get, because a lot can happen. Okay, no, we are running a little bit. Like we've been going at it for a while. We'll see if we can go like a little bit longer. Kofu just got here. Or Kofu, I'm guessing that you're still just in bed watching from mobile. Oh, oh. Hang on. Ritter, thank you very much for the follow. Mahusif Jackal, thank you for the follow. Hi Russ, thank you for the follow. And Ilianos, thank you for the follow. Quouty, hi there, hello. Shayoti, hello, welcome in. Kofu, did you? Thank you for the announcement, Kofu. Hi everyone. My name is Kenyon. I'm a 3D artist. I'm a 3D artist. I love turning other people's 2D concept into 3D models, and that's what we're doing here. We are trying to create this hyena 2D image into a 3D image. Also, I can make cuteness aggressions on me. Thank you, Russ. Hey Proto, welcome on in. Oh god, So we don't have a follower notification. I'm just looking at what's in the activities feed. So Coyote, Pinon, Danny Hykane, Ruckus, Ionut, Proto Wolf, thank you all very much for the follows. So yeah, this is what we're working on. Let's see. Great. Now we're flustered. All right. Hi, Ionut. Cosmic Cell, thank you very much for the follow. Thank you, Kofu. Okay, let's see if we can. So we're focusing on the hands. We've gone over the entire body, and we're trying to knock in some. Like we're looking for like things like bony landmarks. Yeah, the stream has been going well. We're going almost 3 hours now, I think. Yeah, almost 3 hours. So far so good. I'm gonna. Okay. Warning, my Windows sounds do get captured, so all of you are gonna get a lovely Windows notification as I save my file. Let me see if I can actually scrub through the timeline. This might crash. This is why we save, ladies and gentlemen. So welcome in everyone. Hi Noodle, thank you very much for the follow. So yeah, undo 2000. We're gonna go back 2,500 undos. We'll see how this goes. Let's go. If I crash, I crash. So this is how it started. A sphere. To which we just keep adding more and more geometry. We keep refining, we add the head, we add the ears. And we are basically going throughout the entire potato phase. And we just keep refining, we keep finding flow, we adjust the arms. Putting in some more key landmarks. Refine silhouette. Do a pass on the face. Add some more detail to the torso. See if we can improve the arms a bit. And now we have gotten to the stage where we want to enhance the hands. Do you not limit your undos? I think they're limited at, I don't know how much. Also, Imitative Remy, thank you for the follow. Yeah, so in doing so, the arms have probably gone a bit longer, so I'm gonna have to move the hands up a bit, just so that they're a little bit shorter. It's a small difference, but like one of them is a slender man, the other one feels more natural. You limit yours to 100. I do know I limited my quick saves, because that is for some reason also to 9,999. Marin, thank you very much for the follow. Alright, good night, Yonut. Thank you very much for watching, and hopefully see you next time. Oh, hi Harpus. Please squish me gently, otherwise I might explode. Also, wait, hang on. I can do this. I can do shoutouts. So here's Kofu, the person who's probably responsible for getting the majority of you in here now. The person who helped me a lot with setting all of this up would be Deek64. or just Deke, a wonderful game dev and a great friend who also does a lot of live streaming. So go check out Deke, go check out Kofu, both of them are wonderful streamers. I'm a streamer, I can do shoutouts now. Okay, let's focus on the sculpting again a little bit. So trying to get some fingers in there, add a gesture. So again, we're keeping the polygon count low. Yeah, also I have no moderators yet. I might have to change that. Like, sometime soon. Yeah, do I want to give Kofu a knife? That's basically the question I'm asking myself here. Yeah, do I need a mod who's definitely not going to abuse powers? So hi Kiba, thank you very much for the follow. Kofu would be like the chaotic positive energy moderator in everyone's chat that is required. Yeah, see, there it is. Thank you Kiba for giving Kofu a knife. Okay, let me focus on sculpting a little bit again. Oh, hi Alex. Welcome on in. Yeah, Babanasaur is another amazing artist. There we go, get shouted out. They were also making amazing art earlier today. Okay, let's see, this needs to move up here, because we have a bony landmark. Believe it's the ulna? Thank you Alex. We're blocking out this character that you can see on the top right. It's made by Ale55 on social media. As with many projects, I ask permission before starting on any 3D models. Usually I get a reply back and people are pretty positive about it. Unfortunately, I have not gotten a response back from ILF, but like this is why I continuously make mention of their social media name. I did not create this 2D image. I am not a 2D artist. They made this kick-ass concept. I'm only the person that's going to try and do an equal kick-ass 3D attempt at it. Alright. So this is probably where I need to find more reference on the arms, because arms have this really funky twist to them, especially due to this muscle up here, which I've completely forgotten the name of. Brachioradialis, yes. Thank you, Kofu. Yeah, trying to model in that twist is quite tricky. I actually wonder, because... Okay. we're doing this live. This stuff now. Can we cheat this? Because there is the gizmo, or rather the transpose line, and it has a rotate feature. I believe one of these is a rotation. There it is. We're cheating. Boom. Look at that rotation all of a sudden. So yeah, the use the tools that you have, because my god, 3D modeling is already difficult enough. Oh, and then we just kind of fix it. Yeah, so now it actually looks like it starts up top and it comes down and connects to the lower end of the thumb. Just have to fix the volumes again. Yeah, bend curve would also be a great way to get that. And on the... oh, we lost volume here. God, lower arm is weird. Also, I think I might have broken symmetry a little bit, so let me just hit symmetry and weld. Yeah, a little bit. So again, for all the new people in here, I'm not working from just one. Hi, Noodle. I'm not just working from one from one picture here. I have multiple in a Pura file that's on a different screen. This is one of them. So we have a really nice front, back, and a few expressions. So we can really see what the underlying anatomy is before we start adding all of the clothing on top of it. So again, this project is really nice in terms of the reference that has been given to us. Also, I feel like the arms are too short now. Also, what happened to my music? Thank you, YouTube, for giving me yet another error. Alright. Music should be good again. Alright, let's see. What else do we have? The hands feel off. I mean, the hands are probably an entire stream in and of themselves because, yeah, just gestures vaguely at hands. These things are weird. And then it doesn't help that in this concept art, the hands are like even more stylized. But for the moment, we just need there to be some gesture to it. We're not going to separate the fingers. We're just going to give them like some oven mitts. They just need to read proper. So we're going to put in the knuckles. We're going to put in a little bit of the finger curving. At least, yes, I'm very happy that it has 5 fingers. So, yeah, width-wise, these things are huge. So something has to change. Let's see. So basically, whenever I don't know how to do something, I will start looking at my own body and go, okay, where? Even though it's a heavily stylized character, everything is rooted in actual like anatomy and observations. So when you start looking at your own hands and go, okay, the way that the wrist still connects, it doesn't have a diagonal line like this. It's a lot more flatter. The thumb pad, rather the angle of it, appears to be a lot more outwards. It's, this line. So always use reference. That is rule number 1. If you're not using reference, you're doing something wrong. Slightly aware of all of your bones and it's weird. Yes. Also, bones are wet. Enjoy that fact. Alright, let's go away from the hands for a little bit. I think we have some nice flow where the bicep goes down a little bit and then we go up here. So really trying to find curvatures in here. Like really try to get that flow in. Oh boy. I'm sorry, Marin. Now you'll have to live with that fact. Also, you are now breathing manually. Oh, it's wonderful. I can be a gremlin now. And none of you can stop me. uh, it's getting a bit late, so I'm also like it is just like the movies. Like after midnight, don't feed them after midnight, don't get them wet. And I keep forgetting what the third rule of a gremlin is. God. Oh, don't get them wet, don't feed them after midnight. Don't let them walk in sunlight? No, I don't know, that's vampires. Alright, we'll go to the legs, because we need to find better ways of doing this. Again, the silhouette and a lot of angular shapes. Right. Because legs, I have some semblance of an idea how legs work, though they are weird. So again, we'll try to get some shapes in here. And also, again, try to get that twist in. Let's see. Okay, because here's the funny thing. In this image, if you look at the legs, on every angle, they're drawn slightly different. So we, the 3D artists, now have to find compromises where they keep, let's call it the spirit of the shape. So this is where we have to start filling in a lot of blanks of our own. And then if you're an experienced artist, you can probably draw upon previous projects that you've worked upon. And then hopefully be able to do a good job at it. And otherwise, you're gonna get like 10 feedback rounds. I mean, it's the angle that they draw it in, but you can interpret it what they mean. So yes. And again, this character is Scrungle, so we have a lot of bony landmarks, so that shin bone is absolutely popping out. And it should be more... We're gonna do the trick again, where we rotate. What happened here? So this is supposed to be the oblique. Then we have the iliac crest, where the front of a lot of the leg muscles connect. We just need to do a better job at it. Again, I don't think this head should be this far forward. Like this, okay, congratulations. We've arrived at the stage where I am now second guessing everything that I've done. We've done the easy part of just blocking in everything. Now it's actually getting all of the shapes to line up and have it actually fit together. This is where mistakes and lack of anatomy knowledge become very apparent real quick. So again, on my other side, on my other monitor, I have a PureRef file with a lot of anatomy on it that will hopefully help me. But uh, anatomy is funky. And this is where I start to more... So this happens with me, where I start to just jump from body part to jump from body part to body part more inconsistently, and that's how you know I'm slowly starting to lose it. It's where I don't have a plan and my brain will just latch onto little random things that don't look right without having like an actual plan of attack of, okay, first we're going to fix the shoulder, which is going to help us fix the torso, which is going to help us fix the pelvis. It just becomes scatterbrained, which is not good. So I'm purposely going to try and fix on the legs for the moment. Which, hey, digitigrade legs, thumbs up emoji. Stuff is difficult. So again, we're trying to balance it all out, and we're trying to have it connect. Because this is basically a fantasy anatomy that we have to get to work. I mean, the legs are fun, but we need to figure out so many things to make them work from all angles. Because currently so the reason why I have these two bumps is because at the bottom of your leg you actually have, God, I forgot the name of the bone. But like you have two significant bony landmarks sticking out of your ankle over there that I need to figure out. Because I even keep forgetting if the one on the inside is lower than the one on the outside. Like, congratulations, I am now actively feeling my ankles. Tibia and fibula. One on the inside is higher. Okay, thank you. That having chat tell me facts is a lot better than me trying to like look at my own ankles. Because again, chat would never lie to me. I'm an honest streamer, not a gremlin at all, and therefore chat will never lie to me. You have no proof, Kofu. God, okay, I have sculpted and smoothed the same part 5 times now. I need to go to a different part. Yeah, Ritter, being able to just raffle off bone names, muscle names, and like, oh yeah, the deltoid inserts halfway the, God, what's it called, the hume? No, is the upper arm bone called the humerus? I think so. God, I'm second guessing myself on everything now. That is not required. It makes it easier when one artist has to talk to another one at like a higher level of like, okay, we're trying to do an anatomical accurate human being here, so we are now going to be throwing actual anatomical terms towards each other so we know exactly at what point some muscles have to connect. That's when you start throwing all of the fancy names. Otherwise, you just make napkin sketches and tell them, hi, this muscle needs to be bigger. That's it. Or rather, this shape. You don't even call it a muscle. So now I'm just using the H polish brush and see if I can find some planes in there. Because in the back we have like this for a little bit. Epicondyles. Yeah, I think that was the word for it. One of my teachers was also very, what do you call it? During anatomy classes, he would just start speaking in anatomical muscle names only. And then you as the student would just have to figure it out and like, okay, this is the level of talking that I'm requiring for this class. This is what we're gonna do. Jeez, those are the most diamond of diamonds legs that I've ever sculpted. This can't be right. This is too much. So we go back again. I think we might have hit the point where I'm becoming blind to my own work, and that is problematic. This is where you should take a break. Let me just carve in the beans. Or at least make it look like this guy has beans. Yee, thank you. The shoulders on this guy are wild. So yeah, I still need to figure him out better, because this... So looking at this, this diagonal line should not be here, so... Odds are this actually needs to be up by a lot more. Because this is actually how it connects to... like it connects to the front of your clavicle, and it also attaches to the ridge of the scapula. So this would be more accurate. And everything is still a bit wibbly wobbly, but that's okay. Let's see. Tricep, a bit more diamondy. Oh, I love the Final Fantasy medleys. Okay, let's focus on the face a little bit longer, but I do believe the end of the stream is coming up. Oh, thank you, Kofu. I made the PNG tube of myself. It's the extent of my limited 2D skills. This needs to probably be more angular. So again, I'm looking at this image and I'm looking at the expressions, and I just need to interpret it and see what works well in 3D. Thank you, Kofu. Okay, yeah, the soundtrack is also coming to a close, so I think when the music ends is when we'll call it. So hey Bowie, welcome on in. Oh, yay, yes, my microphone is probably doing a upstanding job as to what I sound like. I should probably get a better microphone quickly if I decide to pursue this. I'm sure everyone is loving the Dutch accent that is just slamming into their ears right now. Kofu, I don't even have a throne yet. Stop flustering the streamer. It's against rules. I have to add that to the rules later on. Do not fluster the streamer. Great, I've activated chat. Alright, let me focus on the face a little bit more, and after that we probably need to find a raid target. Oh, thank you everyone. So let's try to get a cheekbone in here. So just adding a few human elements to it to make the face read a bit better. Because cheekbones and eyebrows are probably the main things that you can add to any animal face in order to make it more humanoid. My apologies if any of you heard the racing streetcars on the outside picking up on the mic. Oh, chat is conspiring against me. Get the curvature in there. Nose is too big. Oh, yes, for all the new people in here, I did not make this 2D image at all. This is made by Ale55 on social media. It's in the top right, right above it. Okay, well, speaking of, let me actually add some eyebrows. Maybe that'll save, the face a little bit. So we mask, we extract, we make them a little bit thinner. Rename eyebrows, because we're being a good little 3D artist and we name our tools as we work on them. Oh, the music has stopped. We're gonna fix the eyebrows and after that we're gonna raid out. How the hell do I find a raid target? Yes, I am a lefty. I am left-handed. Alright. Cool. And that's the time I'm gonna give myself. So, so let me hide this one real quick, and now we get to do the thingy where we do this thing where we Shift S. Shift S. Over here, Shift S. So this is the progress that we made today, ladies and gentlemen. We started from a sphere and we basically got a basic block out of our character. There's still plenty of things that we have to fix, but for a first stream of 3.5 hours, I think this is some pretty neat progress. Let's see, I should have some music going on in the background as we do the outro. I'll just grab this part real quick. Nope, I need something more cheery. There we go, just a Final Fantasy tune. Alright. Raid targets are on the stream manager. I have no idea what that is. Okay. I'm just gonna go to my follower list, hopefully not activate any sounds. And I will see if there's anyone that I know that I can like send all of you at. Ba, 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 ba. Is this one of the few times where I don't see any of my friends online? Do any of them feel like going online real quick so I can raid into them? No peer pressure? Right, yeah. Bowie, thank you very much for joining in at the end. We have been going for a little over 3.5 hours, so I am getting tired. So I'm gonna have to stop it here. So, alright, Kofu's in bed. Anyone else? Let me actually just go to the art section. Oh, the cars in the streets are getting ready to race. Let's see. Oh, okay, here's an artist that looks neat. They're doing some 2D, they're doing some sort of figure drawing. The Volpin is their name, so if I do /raid, Ritter, I live near a road that is just really long and straight. It's like the one thing that is being used for its street races after 10. What is the command for raiding? How do I twitch? So. Alright. A raid has been created. Oh god, that is in 10 seconds. Everyone, thank you very much for hanging out, and I'll see all of you hopefully next time. Fortified Apple Juice, hi, welcome on in. Oh. Hang on. How long does it take for it to... Okay, it's a fake timer. Okay, so we have some time. So, to everyone who joined in, thank you very much for watching. This was my first stream. I liked it a lot. It was a very positive experience. Kofu, thank you very much for giving a shout out in your server and getting a bunch of people in here. To everyone who's been here from the start, thank you very much for being here for 3.5 hours with me. Yeah, I will be streaming more in the future. I'll see if I can keep this up. I have no idea if I can do a schedule or not, but I will be doing some. I will. Come on, it's the outro. Don't fumble on this. I will be making an announcement on social media, which is this thing. So if you would like to see more of me, follow here. And now we're gonna go see the Volpin. Go be nice to them. Thank you very much for watching.
Certainly.